happens. It's been over a year and I am so sorry because I had so many plans for this channel and life just happened. Last year was a very busy one. And then I recorded again in May and still haven't uploaded that. So I will definitely edit that at some point and put it up because it is our end of year curriculum reviews. And I did record what are we using for 6th grade, but things changed. So let me know if you would want to see that, because I feel like that makes it realistic of how things change from May to now August. But as you know, the title said, this is a homeschool haul. Last year we did one. It was actually really big. So this year is definitely a lot less, and I'll go over that. But welcome back. I hope you will stick around and subscribe and, watch and go along with us. The goal, of course, is to start posting regularly. But, life happens. So God willing, that's what would happen. But yeah, so let's begin. Like I said, this year is a bit of a smaller, I don't even know if I said that in this second round of recording, because this is not the first time I'm recording. And just so you know, it's late in the afternoon, end of day. It's been a crazy day, but you know what? I did my hair today, and it's like the first time in over a month. So I figured, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just record, get this out, and God willing, this can become something that keeps happening. So yeah, I'm not gonna give you, the best produced video, but I don't think you care about that. I think you're here just because you want to get ideas on what things you can get your kids for homeschooling. And this is our first year homeschooling middle school, which has been definitely exciting. It is definitely different compared to what we normally would do with my daughter. Normally, I would buy a lot of things, but honestly, in the past couple of years of homeschooling, I have stocked up in a lot of stuff. So this is more of just replenishing certain things and just the things that she's like now that, she's bigger and older and, she's become bougie on certain things. Just trying to figure out what things she really likes. She's learned, to appreciate pens and pencils and all these things. So that's kind of what you're going to see. There's not too much. I always say every year you should be buying paper for sure. And, pencils. Last year, if you saw our other video, we have bought a huge box of Ticonderoga pencils, the pastel color ones. We are nowhere near through them. I mean, you open that box and it still looks like it's kind of new. So that's been a blessing. And I have a feeling that box will last us probably until the end of our maybe homeschool journey, because that's how many I had. So I don't know. I'm like trying to figure out where am I supposed to look, but whatever. That's just where life is right now, guys. As I said, I'm sure you're not here, for amazing video quality, but more of just trying to get ideas. So for this school year, I'm wondering if I should just show you like this. I think I am. I think this is gonna just, let's just make it quick because it's getting super late and dark and I'm gonna totally lose light. So I wanted to get her a good geometry set, and mainly just because it's, the beginning of middle school, math is starting to, require more things. Last year we got one of these ones. I don't remember the name. We got a couple of the pieces that are here, but I figured this year we'll just get, a full set. Mr. Pen is great quality, honestly, good price. We got it through Amazon because, as you know, or if you didn't know, we are in the state of California and we are through a charter. We're homeschooling through a charter. We do use Christian curriculum. If I can totally go in depth into that. I think I have a video on that. And I will show my curriculum pics, not in this video. But we use the funds that the charter gives us. So Amazon sometimes is the easiest place to make those purchases through. So yeah, a lot to say. We got a geometry set. Now my daughter has really gotten into Japanese stationery. That's the thing now. That's what we're into now. So Canvas is a really good company, honestly, or I think it's Kikuyo, and then they have the campus line. Don't quote me, but I think that's how it goes. So I want her to learn how to study in the Japanese style. We did a little bit of research, YouTube research, because I want her to do note taking and take some of those skills from that. And they have this like student planner where what it does is it's not like you're planning the tasks that you're going to do, but instead it's more of like keeping track of the amount of hours that you're going to be studying for what topics. And I know as a homeschooler, trust me, I don't expect her to study as much, but I do want her to know how to prepare for a test and how to be comfortable with that, because she is college bound. That's something that she is very determined on doing. So I want to make sure that she's prepared for that. And with the charter, she does get tested, which has never been a problem. But I know that the tests will only get, harder. The SATs one day will come and she will have to take them to go to the college that she wants to go to, which, mind you, she already has a college picked, which, at the end of the day is God's will. But, there are certain goals that she has. So I figured this would be a cool tool for us to try and see if she likes it. And also this binder, it's really cool because instead of opening like, the ones that pinch your finger, you just pull on this and then it opens, you put the paper. I don't even know if you can see that. And then it closes. See? So that's really cool. And like I said, we're just trying new things. And this is a B5. We noticed that we don't like huge, bulky things. So this size was actually really great, and she likes it. She likes it a lot. We have already started not officially started. I always do a soft launch in August, and then we begin the day after Labor Day. So that's how we normally do it. So we are kind of trying out the curriculums that we picked and making sure that they're going to be a good fit, seeing if there's anything else that needs to be purchased, if there's anything that needs to be changed. And this kind of helps us kind of like ease into our year. So yeah, we bought stuff like this, which are just erasers. Could we have gotten something cheaper? Yes. But what's the fun sometimes in that? Price-wise is pretty similar. But like this one, as you start erasing it, it will show you, it'll look like Mount Fuji. I think that's what it is. So it'll look like this. And please, forgive me for my nails, disregard them, do not look at them. But that's just life right now, guys. And I wasn't going to paint my nails just to do this. So yeah, as you start using it, it looks like Mount Fuji. So I thought that was so cool. And like I said, she's really into like Japan and Asian culture right now. Like that's the thing that she's into. So that's what we're doing. And because she's getting older, I wanted to make sure that because she's so into stationery, that the stationery that she's using is kind of growing with her. And, it's kind of reflecting, like big girl, middle school seriousness kind of thing. In our homeschool, there are things that we are very laid back on. And then there's others that we're just not. So she takes her schooling very serious because I take it very serious. So middle school for us was like, okay, this is a year where we prep because we have a plan. And then come high school, the things that I'm expecting of her will be a little bit higher. And then, because again, she has certain academic goals. Wait, I said that's super weird. She has some goals that, she wants to reach, and like I said, she has a very specific college that she would like to go to. So I just wanted to make sure that this year everything felt more like big girl, but also she's having certain things that are very much her. But yeah, and she's really into like I said, Japanese stationery. So, and they're just great at their stationery. The quality is just so much better. So it's kind of like we stopped using Crayola and now, we're moving to like nicer colors and things like that. So we're kind of that, you kind of see that reflected in everything. Is it a big deal? No. Would I have bought a lot of this stuff if we weren't getting those funds? Maybe not all at once, because it definitely gets a lot pricier, right? So all of that to say, we got this glue sticks. Will the normal ones, you know, those purple ones that we all use, work just fine? Yes. But like I said, we're trying to make things a little bit more fun for her. So the cool thing about this one is it's in the shape of a square. So if you want to get those corners, it's easier. Was this our favorite purchase? Probably not. Will we purchase it again? Meh. Not. I don't know. Maybe. But, you know, it's still the fun part of like, ooh, it's something different. This just feels more big girl to her. So we're just going with that as well. Okay, so highlighters. These are the highlighters that we are using. This is what they look like, right? So you can have two different sides. It has two different sides, same color, different shades. It's just fun. It's really just fun. It doesn't make the pens bleed as much, but they're also not perfect. So, you know, to each their own, but we really like them. So this is what she's using. She is on the search for her perfect pen. This year she will be taking a lot more notes. So she wanted to find the perfect pen, and we are in the search of it. I feel like everybody has seen the Uniball pens, this little chunky ones. We got them, they're cute. This are 0.5, this one is 0.3, I believe. Yeah, this ones are 0.3, and she got two 0.5 to see which one she liked more. She's a 0.3 kind of gal. She is left-handed. So we started finding that with a lot of other pens, they would smear, which was a problem, and it made things very uncomfortable. So that was something that I had to kind of present to the charter to help them understand why we were choosing to go with pricier stuff. And mind you, are they expensive, like out of control? No, of course not. They're still okay for a middle school child. Keep in mind she's 11. But they're just a little bit nicer, and she's starting to learn about, you know, the nibs and the way things change and how they run and the type of ink and things like that. And like I said, she loves stationery, so it made sense. And then we are also trying this one out. It's actually pretty good. Not my favorite. I definitely prefer this one. So does she, but we're just trying things out. Because again, she's taking a lot of notes this year. I wanted to get her this because she has complained like, oh, my hand just gets tired. But she's just getting more into writing. So I wanted to see if maybe using this kind of stuff would help her hand not get so tired as she's writing a lot more. So we got those. We still haven't used them because this pens, it would be pointless and then it will be too big. So we'll see. We'll kind of keep trying it out. And then she is getting into fountain pens. I actually had gotten myself a fountain pen and she really liked it. But I was like, yeah, but that one is, you know, a dull fountain pen. So she wanted to get one. This is specifically for kids. I don't know if it'll focus. But like it even has like a little happy face. I think you can kind of see it there. But it has like a little happy face, and it's for children to kind of learn. And this is from Gakuno. I'm probably butchering the name, but that's the name. And Pilot, yeah, right there you can see it. They're super inexpensive in, you know, the comparison of what a fountain pen would be. Because fountain pens, if you know, they can go all the way to like $300. This one was like $11, $12, so it was pretty good. It already comes with the ink inside in a tube, and the tube can be switched out, and you can buy refills. So yeah, it's pretty good. I think the nib size changes. I'm not sure, but it also comes with a refill already, so I think this should be good. And I'll go more in depth as to why it was important for her to get that and why we're doing so much of the pen stuff. But like I said, in general, it is because she is starting to write more this year. Like, that is our goal. She likes writing. I wanted her to learn how to take good notes. And we're doing our own version of notebooking. And although she's artsy, she also likes, she's a very serious, old soul kind of person. So you'll see that reflected in the kind of notes she's expecting herself to take. Because I was over here thinking like, hey, let's notebook and, you know, watercolor. She was like, no, that's, Mom, we're serious. We're in middle school now. So it's a little bit different than, you know, what we normally do. And then we got this whiteouts. They're from campus. A and B. What that means is just how thick the line is going to be, and it matches perfectly for the notebooks that she's going to be using. The color of it, it's kind of seamless, and they're really good so that I don't know if you've ever done that, but like you can use your whiteout, and then if you wanted to highlight after that, it won't work, or your pen can just not look right. So this kind of help take that away. It works. I'm not going to say it doesn't. Again, is it a huge need? Then this is the liner. So it's like glue sticks, but like tape. I don't know what to call it, guys. It is like a glue runner, but like in a tape version. And this is, again, from the same Kikuyo brand. They were just cute and smaller for her to put, you know, wherever she's going and things like that. Good for on the go. And she saw me using some for my junk journaling, for my book, for my reading journal and things like that. So this year, that's another thing. She's starting her own book journal. And that I am making it a requirement for her because I want to see feedback on the books that she's reading. She's a reader, but I just want her to put it into words, right? So these are the ones that we got that I have been getting. So I figure, sure, you can have some of these ones and they're cute. And it also helps us try different brands because I had gotten other ones that were great. They're like red. I don't even know what brand that is, but I got them from Amazon. And they're good for a while, and then they just start messing up, and it's like half of the roll is still, you know, intact, but it won't work anymore, and it just goes to the trash, and they're not the cheapest thing. So I wanted to try different ones, so we got this ones, and then this one's as well, just, you know, we'll try them out and see if they work for her. We also got some of this marker highlighters. They're highlighters. We got 2 different packs because apparently the colors that are here are not in here, which I think that purple one is, but that's fine. She likes purple a lot. But her statement was, the colors are different. This is a limited edition one. This is not. So as you can tell, the type of stationery that she's trying to use is definitely different. Can you see the glitter? It just has, it's like a highlighter with glitter. It's really pretty. Again, doesn't smear, doesn't mess up your pen. So it just helps. And again, because she's taking a lot of notes this year, I was okay with purchasing this kind of things that are going to just make it more exciting for her to do that. She really wants to have, she really enjoys having notebooks that she can look back on and just kind of be like, oh, I did that for 6th grade. I did that for 7th grade. You know what I mean? Like 5th grade. Like we have some work samples like that for every school year. So this year she really wanted to focus on that. So that's what we're doing. Now for notebooks, these are the notebooks we had bought before. We bought those at the end of last year. And I thought they were beautiful. I'm going to give you just an example of what, you know, she kind of does. And I thought they were super nice. The paper is really pretty. It's not like that stark white kind of paper. The grid, I think it is, I'm going to say it's smaller than the Hokonichi. So probably 3x3 or 4x4. Because it's, I don't know. Probably 3x3, right? I don't know. But it's really good. And her writing is really small. So I figured it will work. And, you know, it fits our maps really nicely. So this is something we started in the summer again, because like I said, we had kind of already started our school year. This is our history one. We're doing world history. So if you can tell, her writing is pretty small. So this is what we had started with for history. But then she noticed that they had campus notebooks, which are the ones that she really liked. She got one and she was like, I love those notebooks. They're super thin. And again, she is left-handed. So because she is left-handed, having this kind of books that lay completely flat they're so comfortable for her. The paper is beautiful. Like, genuinely, I am impressed with the quality of the paper. I mean, it is Japanese paper, so that's why it's so good. And this is what it looks like. The grid is like lines, but it also has kind of like the dot. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe you can. I don't know. I'm recording on my cell phone, so I can't see what you're seeing. But I hope you saw it. So it's really good if you want to make graphs and things like that, or, you know, anything like it. So this one, for example, is going to be the notebook that she's going to use to add a little something, you know, a tiny biography on the writer for things that she's reading about from her literature curriculum. So, you know, by the end of the year, this will be full. And it came in a big pack, so I think it was 5 or 6, really inexpensive. So I was okay with it. And so far, honestly, it has worked beautifully. I don't have any problems with it. This is her science notes that she's doing. So as you can tell, she's really trying and you know, to do just a big record of what she's learning, and I think it's beautiful, and I love it, and I think it's gonna be such a great memory. And these notebooks they're perfect. They are, I think this is gonna be a B6 size. Let me compare it with my, yeah. No, this is a B, I think it's almost a B5 because my planner is B5. So yeah, about a B5. So that's what she's using. She's using it for science, for the writer stuff, and then she has a whole bunch of them left because it was a pack and it was actually really good price. And then this is what she's using, same brand. This is sticker, and this is for in a grid format. This is going to be for math, and this is what she's using. So for math, we use the Good and the Beautiful. But there are certain things sometimes that she will just prefer to put into a notebook because there's not a lot of space. So she'll do it here. And then this way, when I'm grading, she'll just put like, okay, lesson, you know, the number of the lesson, and then whatever work she does have to do, you know, by hand. She's really good with mental math. This is what the grid looks like. So it's not that super big grid, especially for her that she has very small writing. This just works really good. And like I said, when I'm grading, I can just go back into here if she has something wrong, look at the problem, see where she made the mistake, and then we can fix it from there. So this has definitely been a savior when you are using the Good and the Beautiful, because there's not a lot of space for them to write out the problem or any exercises that they need to do. So this definitely helps a lot. Now, she also wanted some of this. They're like sticky notes, but they're not sticky. They're just like little squares, like grids, because she was like, oh, sometimes, you know, there's certain things that I want to add into my notes and stuff. And especially on this kind of notebooks, if she needs, oh, I almost hit myself. If she needs grid paper, she could just pull it from here and add it. I think she just liked it because she saw it in Jet Pens and they were talking about how good it is. It's from Midori, if you know that brand. And they just feel so good. And she just, it's one of those things that it's like, could we have gotten something else? Like, yeah, but you know. We also got the Midori notebook. It has already been decorated, so, you know, please disregard that. This is what she's going to use as her book journal. So she makes her little spreads and then will print out, you know, the book cover and then write her thoughts on that book and, you know, do things like that. She'll make like her little TBR, and she had a lot of fun kind of like decorating it. Her goal for this school year is to read 76 books, which honestly I have a feeling she'll be able to knock that off without, you know, even making it to May. So it should be just fine. I'm a little worried because this is what the spine looks like. But again, this is a great notebook because, see, it lays completely flat no matter where you are, right? So it's just really comfortable for her because she is left-handed. And then it has this thing that in the corner, as you're using the pages, you can rip it out. And then you always, when you want to know where you are, because it's already been ripped in that corner, it's easier to get to the page. Which, like, it's in those little details that you're like, that's where Japanese stationery truly thrives, right? And then this is what it looks like. So it's just dot grid. Can you even see? I don't even know if you can see, but yeah, it's just dot grid paper, beautiful paper. It's not Tombow paper, this is Midori, so it's a little bit thicker, but that works because of all the things that, you know, she's like putting on it and stuff like that. And I feel like it just made it more exciting for her to want to write those. It's not a book report, but it's just like, I want an eloquent description of what she read, why she liked it, and why. So like an opinion piece, kind of, that's what I'm looking for. But also trying to make it fun for her. And then because, like I said, she's going to be taking a lot of notes, and I wanted to make sure that I got her excited for that. And she likes to do journaling. She likes to do arts and crafts. She's very arts and crafty in a way. So she got a lot of washi tape. All of it is from Amazon, and it's really pretty. We both use it for journaling, for planning, things like that. For planning last year, I've been using Erin Condren planners since I started homeschooling. And towards the end of last school year, she let me know that, look at this one. This is so cute. Like, this is so cute. I want to use that. Last year, she let me know that she wanted to use that. So I let her try it out, and it was working great because we would have this, like, you know, morning meeting once a week, and we would talk about, like, okay, this is what is going to happen this week. This is what you're going to do. She would write it out in the planner and know what she has to do. So at the time I was working, and whatever she, you know, if I was in a meeting or whatever, she didn't have to wait for me. She could just get to doing what needed to happen because she had it in her planner. And if, let's say, like, oh, I need mom for this specific subject, that's perfectly fine because I know I need something else, right? Like, it's in my list. So that helped a lot. She also got this stickers, and again, same thing. She can add it to her notes, she can add it to her journal. I was very, you know, expressive of, like, hey, feel free to add washi tape to your notes for science, because we're only taking the notes stuff for science and for history. But she was like, no, only for this one, that I want to keep it more formal. So I was okay with that, you know, to each their own. So I was fine with that. What else? Oh, we got, as always, I get a 500 pack of paper. This is a paper that we like. Why? Well, because it's nice paper and it feels nice. And I don't like paper that doesn't feel nice. Yeah. So that's why we get this paper. And again, we're using the funds, which is something that, you know, we need to use up. So that's why. But yeah, that's honestly has been the best paper that we have. I like it because I'm usually going to be printing things that she's going to keep in her well, now in her notes, right? So like it's either going to be here in her notes, and like look how pretty and how good that looks, and that is of course a printer, but also the type of paper you have. So that makes a difference, right? Like it just makes a difference. So that's why I was okay with, you know, spending the money for that paper. And then usually I will print out any curriculum, usually is the unit studies that we're going to be using. And for example, if it is it's a seasonal unit study, that's mostly what we use the unit studies for. How many times can I say unit studies? So because of that, I do try to use good paper because I will keep it and then recycle it in a couple of years. So for example, we have the Thanksgiving unit study from Campfire. We have used it 2 years because we didn't go to the part, I think it's like from lesson 9 to the end, that they're like, oh, you know, this is where things get a little ugly. Make sure your child is ready for this information. So we didn't go there in 4th grade. We went there for 5th grade. So I put it away, and then we'll most likely go over that specific unit study again, probably 9th grade or 10th grade, whichever one of those years, when we do American history again. So, you know, those kind of things, I want to make sure that I can keep them, that the paper is good, that it will hold up, and that it will, you know, just be a good quality. So I like to print out all those kind of things in paper and make sure that I'm able to keep them. So all that to say, that's the paper we got. We also got this little pack of midliner. I thought this was so cute. Honestly, we were going to get just like this little pack that had, I think it was 4 or 6 of them. I think it was 6. But the charter school was like, oh, because it's such a small amount and the price, apparently those were limited edition because they had like little animals on it as decorations, and the price per pen was higher than what the charter school allowed. So we ended up getting this one, which has 35 of them. And all they are is, it's a marker on one side, and again, the point of it, it's fine point, and the other side is marker. And I'm over here trying not to show you my nails. Like, listen, it is what it is. So we like those a lot. Again, for notebooking, for journaling, for her note taking. For everything really, we enjoy this, the midliners a lot. We had some that we've been using, so I figured, you know what, we'll just get this pack because the price per pen was cheaper. The charter approved it, and it's so cute, right? Like, they just do the cutest things. And it is also a Japanese brand, so she was super excited, and it's the little things. What else can I show you? We're almost done, honestly. We didn't really do a lot. We got this pack of washi tape as well, different colors. How long is this washi tape going to last us? Forever. Forever. That's the truth, because I like stationery a lot, so I used a lot of washi tape for my planner. Well, for all my planners and book journaling and things like that. A book reading journal, and yeah, I just use it a lot. I totally forgot what I was saying, so yeah. All right, and then she got this. This is the Kokuya, which is, if you have girls, you know. It's this brand of coloring books that she has really come to enjoy. And she wanted to start coloring with markers, but she didn't have good markers and they would ruin the paper and stuff like that. So this is like a collab that Kokuya did, which is, again, the coloring book that has those little characters with ohuhu. I don't know. But they're alcohol markers, and it came the markers with the it's the markers with the coloring book. So these are all the markers that it came with, which are a lot of pastel colors, which are her favorite colors. So I thought this was a really good starter to coloring with markers, with our alcohol markers pack. We do have the big pack of the Tombow markers, but because one of the tips of it, it's like that, like brush type. I think that's what it's called, the brush tip. And because she's left-handed, the way that she pushes when she highlights or colors and things like that, it's a lot harder. So that was not working for her. She was breaking them. And then this one, on the other hand, it does have, you know, this side for when you're doing the details. But they're just stronger. They're just somehow stronger and not as long, if you can see it there. So it just works perfect. And they're like thick compared to the Tombow. The Tombow markers are really thin. So this just works so much better. So that's what she's using. And it came with little stickers. And this is the coloring book. She obviously has already been coloring. And let me see if I can show you. Oh, and it came with this thing as well that you can put under. She's, you know, already started coloring. She's not like, you know, super professional or doing no crazy stuff yet. Like patterns and things like that, but she really wants to get into that. So there is another it's kind of like a how to color with markers, but like the little patterns. I don't know if you've seen videos of how girls do that with the patterns and things like that, and it's really cute. So I want to get her that one, but again, we ran out of funds because we paid for the French class with Well-Trained Mind, and that's pricey. So that one kind of sucked up most of our funds, which is okay because so far she started with them a week ago. Well, this week that just ended. She's had 2 classes and she's loved it. It's so good. I'm so happy, and so is she. So it definitely was a good investment. But yeah, so next time that we get our funds, then I'll probably get her that other book if she's still into coloring, because if you have kids, especially kids that go, you know, they're kind of trying to figure out what their hobbies are, they tend to change. Last year we got pottery, like a pottery kit, and honestly, she didn't really use it. She got more into making mosaics, something like that. But yeah, she got into like something different that came with that same kit, but it was just like a smaller portion because the main thing was the pottery stuff. So, you know, we still have that there, and yeah, things change. Whoops. So I wanted to show you this because this is something else that we got, but this is more of like a monthly subscription. I'm sure if you have kids, you know who Mark Rober is. He's like the STEM guy, and he has Crunch Labs monthly subscription, which is very similar to like Kiwi and Co, but just I like this better. So she already got her first box. This is what she made. It's like a launcher, and you turn it on, and like the thing will, you know, kind of go out through here. So you're like grabbing it like this and playing with it. It comes with this things, and it's just so fun. And also, has anybody heard or tried the Crunch Labs curriculum? Because it's free for life, and it's science, you know, STEM focused, and it looks really good. Really good. I plan on incorporating some of it this year just because she's excited about it, and we got the subscription, so she's really excited. So yeah, that's literally all that we got for this school year's haul. Really, that's it. We, like I said, our funds were, most of them, fully absorbed from the class, with the French class with Well-Trained Mind. So we didn't have a lot to kind of buy, which honestly was perfectly fine because we have so many things from last year still. Last year I really took the time to just kind of replenish, and we got boxes of pens and erasers, and we got tons of like construction paper and watercolor paper, and different sizes of paper. I mean, I feel like we are Office Depot. We have a full closet of stuff. So this year it just felt like we don't really need much, and that's exciting because this is our 4th year homeschooling, and I can see what everybody talks about of like there comes a time where like you just won't be spending that much money. And this definitely is the year where we cannot afford to spend a lot of money on stuff. So it is such a blessing to know that, so if you're in that season of like barely starting to homeschool and you're like, wow, this is going to be expensive, please know it's not like that every year. And, the amount of things you're going to have to buy is going to be less because you're going to have a lot left. And I kind of see that trend a lot with other moms that have been homeschooling for a little bit, because we haven't been doing it for like 10 years or something crazy. But once you hit that like 4th, 5th, 6th year, you realize like, oh, I still have a lot of stuff, so I don't really need to be, switching too many things around. And then the other thing, that this is not new anymore. I started using this right around the time when she took over my Erin Condren planner. If you guys want, I can definitely show you. This is a Sterling ink common planner in B5. Yes, in B5. I told myself I wanted to simplify things, and this totally did. And like I'm able to make this kind of things for like our reading list of, these are the books that I plan on assigning her for her to read. Like these are books that I want her to read by herself this school year, no questions asked. This don't count as the books that I'm assigning for history or things like that, because we will talk about the curriculum I'm using, but that this doesn't count as that. This is just books that I want her to read now. Like before, like I don't know about you guys, but I have a running list of books I want her to read before she leaves my homeschool. So yeah. But this all has allowed me to be creative and do like silly things like this, like a unit tracker, to know where I am with the units for example, geography. We got the geography, exploring the Holy Land from Master Books. So it's silly things like that seem silly, but for me, it makes it enjoyable. Like this is my tracker for BJU. Is it the most aesthetic? No, it's not, but it makes it fun for me. And I feel like this school year, I needed it to be fun. I was craving that. So, I haven't even told you how this works, right? So it has the monthly spread, and then it moves on. And wait, I should probably show you an empty one, right? Wait, hold up. Because I got a 2026, and because the year had already started, I got it way cheaper too. So this is what it looks like. Of course, it's up to your discretion to decorate. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to be able to decorate to my liking. And it just gives me the time to be creative and kind of make it my own, while also not being super bulky, because again, this is a B5. So for you guys, like if you want to kind of find out, like this is an A5. So it's really small. It's way smaller than my Erin Condren, and it's not super bulky. It does lay flat, and like I said, it has the monthly spread, then it goes into the daily spread. And what I'm doing now to plan is a lot simpler. So it has like the days here, and I just, wait, is it there? Yeah. And I just add to the day, like in this side is just blank grid paper. So here I add everything I want us to get done that week for each subject. And then here I will assign it per day. That's been working for my brain, guys. Like, that's really been working for my brain. I think I'm a list kind of person, so that just has helped. I have like a math tracker. Like I said, I'm not, doing this for aesthetics, but also like it helps me be very creative. and kind of write things out how I want to. So like I have a list of like each lesson that I have for history. I have what state standard it covers, because again I have to go through certain things with the charter that I have to show. So it helps me do like learning period 1, this is what I'm covering and this is what I'm going to show, and it just helped me plan my year in a very easy way. It was actually really, really good. And for example, for history, because I have my curriculum and then I'm adding a lot of read alouds, and I can't keep everything in my head because I'm going to forget, and I'm planning ahead of time because I already bought all those books, and I can make a video of those as well. I'll probably add those, probably not to curriculum. I'll just make a video about that. But yeah, so see, like I'm able to put like, okay, learning period 2, and I know what months that breaks down to. This is what we're going to cover, and these are the books that we're going to read together that I'm adding into our curriculum, because that's a whole nother conversation. But trying to find, see, so this is the kind of things I get to do, and the freedom that gives me, it's just been great. And there's it has tons of pages that are just like this, blank. Now, like I said, this is 2026. It will end in 2026. December is the last month that it has. But I am not afraid of redating. If, I don't know, I might be in a position where I can buy another one in December. I might just, even if I'm in the position to buy another one with this economy, I might just say, yeah, no, I'm just going to keep using this and writing in it. I was worried because, like I said, I'm coming from an Erin Condren of years with Erin Condren, and I like things to be pretty and things like that. And I could buy a cover for it, but I don't want it to be bulky. It feels so good, and the size is just perfect. I don't know, guys. Sometimes simpler is just better. And the paper is so good. It's so soft, and I love it. So I can definitely show you guys that if you are interested in seeing how I'm planning now, because it's definitely different from how I was planning when I started homeschooling. I think I made it a lot more complicated, and for a while I felt a little lost in finding my way of planning and what worked for me. And sometimes I would end up with, the end of the year noticing that, the Erin Condren planner that I, spent so much money on simply did not work out, or a lot of it was empty, or it just looked messy, and it didn't make me feel happy and inspired to get in it. And this one did, and I'm so happy with it. I'm genuinely happy, and like I'm excited to write on it, and like I said, just do silly things like this that just make me super excited to look at and decorate, and it helps me be just creative, and it just makes it exciting for me too. So yeah, I can definitely show you guys more. But that is all I had. I pray that this will be a blessing to you, that you got some cool ideas on what things you can get your kiddos for school. You might just love stationery as much as I do and my daughter, and you might just find, some cool, fun things. I hope that it was, useful, and I hope that I will be able to keep posting and that you'll come watch. So have a good day. God bless you guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.